Welcome to another edition of the Craig Carton Show. Great to have you here. Tyrone A. Johnson here, as always, as we move ever so closely to the actual NBA playoffs. Congratulations, Tyrone. Your Sixers pulled off a miracle yesterday, and they won their game.
What miracle?
A little miracle yesterday. They beat the Orlando Magic.
Yeah,
that was miraculous. Nobody saw that coming.
They were favoring the game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Took care of business for 4 quarters.
Yeah, well,
now on to the Celtics on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a wrap now, as you know.
Well, slow down.
The Sixers are one and done. They got that cute little play-in win against the Orlando Magic. And by the way, Paolo Banchero last night, I swear to God, that was Ben Simmons in a Paolo Banchero uniform last night. That dude was afraid to shoot last night.
Afraid to shoot.
Right?
And meanwhile, Maxey wasn't. And now you see Maxey right now is more ready for the playoffs than Banchero is.
100%.
Right now.
100%. Banchero was an embarrassment last night for a great player, and I do think he's a great player. But he got the rock open, and it was like Ben Simmons. It's like, man, shoot the ball.
Yep, Desmond Bane took all the shots.
Yeah, anyhow, congratulations in Philly. I don't know why you'd be celebrating the cute little play-in win.
No one's celebrating. It's on to the Celtics on Sunday afternoon.
You guys are getting a little carried away in Philly. Hey, we beat the Magic. Bring on the Celtics. But historically, as you may know, I know you know, Tyrone, because you're a Philadelphia sports guy. The Philadelphia 76ers have never in their franchise's history won a playoff series against the Celtics when either Wilt Chamberlain or Dr. J were not in the lineup.
Okay.
And I double-checked today because I wanted to make sure. Dr. J's still alive.
Yeah.
And doing great. Looks fantastic, by the way. He's aging beautifully, if I may say. But he ain't playing basketball. And Wilt Chamberlain's been dead for 40 years. So it was really nice and cute in Philadelphia, seeing people climb grease poles last night.
No one was on any pole.
That's what I saw on Instagram today.
You did not see
and
that.
on TikTok.
No.
Philadelphia fans celebrating their first ever play-in win.
It's not their first ever play-in win.
Oh, they've been in the play-in before.
Yeah,
That's right. They're
before
the Sixers.
The play-in.
They never really get to the actual playoffs. There's always play-in nonsense with them. But congratulations on your championship. You are the play-in champions as of last night, and you're going to get swept by the Boston Celtics.
Swept?
Yeah.
Sixers and 7, baby.
It's a wrap.
Sixers and 7. Game 7 in the Garden.
I know you're
I'm
smoking.
saying it out now, right now. I got the number. Maxey goes for 37 in Game 7 for the win.
Okay, by the way, so he's going to pull a Clyde Frazier? Is that what's going to happen? In any event, I do want to congratulate my friends in Philadelphia. I know how important last night was to you.
What are you talking about?
You're a city that doesn't win basketball championships.
You're the Knicks.
You're a city that, by the way,
the Knicks.
I'm not talking about the Knicks right now.
No, but you
I'm
can't.
just talking about
You're
Philly.
not exactly at a position of strength that be having this argument.
I'm just an objective observer of basketball.
When
they
did
call
you
me the
become
double OB in the place to be. Most definitely on the Young MC. People in New York call me ACC. That's right.
None of that is true.
That's all true.
They don't call you any of that.
That was off the dome right there.
No, it's not.
Battle rapper.
True. None of this is true. What's happening today? None of this is true.
Woo!
Anyway.
In any event, I want to congratulate you and your people in Philadelphia.
On to the Celtics.
Celebrating your version of an NBA championship by winning a playing game against Ben Simmons and the Orlando Magic.
No, against the
Congratulations.
Magic. They handled their business. And I just want to say for the record out there, it's the kind of friend Craig's supposed to be. I'll be in North Jersey Sunday morning anyway because of a lovely wedding.
Yes.
Okay.
Our producer Ryan is getting married.
Yeah, very excited
Saturday,
about it.
That's right.
So I'll be staying in the hotel. I'll be leaving Sunday.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch Sixers Celtics 1 o'clock because they had the afternoon game Sunday.
Where do you want to do that?
At your house.
At my place?
And you immediately said, no.
Shut that down.
Immediately shut it down.
I shut that right down.
That feels harsh. That was very harsh.
I shut that right down.
Right down.
Yeah, because I'll probably be watching the game because you know I'm a big basketball fan.
And
my Knicks play Saturday night at 6 o'clock. No, look, my whole crew's not even going to be in town in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you go to my house, I'll be watching basketball in another state. But I'll give you the garage code if you want.
No, that's all right.
Just lock the door on your way out.
It's all right. I'll just leave a little earlier to make sure I'm home for game 1.
You not go to the brunch? You got to go to the brunch.
What time? I don't know what time the brunch is.
Brunch is at 12. You got to go to the brunch. The groom's family pays for the brunch.
I'll find.
And I know the groom's family.
So I'll find a North
They keep
Jersey.
notes. If you're one of them guys that's like, lovely wedding, thank you. You're staying in the hotel where the brunch is at.
I am.
If you and your beautiful wife don't go to the brunch, the stay-offs make note of that. They're like, dead to me. Bang.
Well,
I ordered an extra 3 bagels for the Johnson family. I heard they like smoked salmon. I got them lox. I got extra cream cheese. And they no-showed the brunch. Dead to me.
Yeah, I can't do the cream cheese. Don't do cream cheese.
What do you mean you don't do cream cheese?
I don't do cream cheese.
Everybody does cream cheese.
I don't do cream cheese.
Why? For some kind of like dietary reason, religious reason?
I don't like it.
You can't not like cream cheese.
I don't
You cannot
like it.
like cottage cheese.
No, I don't like that
But
either.
you can't not like cream cheese.
Don't like cream cheese. Don't eat cream cheese.
Why did we become friends 30 years ago?
I don't know. I don't know. I ask myself that all the
By the way,
time.
so do I every now and then. I'm like, my dude don't like cream cheese?
No cream cheese.
Well, you better show your ass up at the brunch.
I RSVP
That's like
to
a
the
wedding
brunch.
rule, by the way.
I'm going to show. I RSVP to the brunch.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna go.
Like if you're going as a guest of the groom, which you are,
Yeah.
well, the groom ain't paying for nothing until we get to the brunch. The wife's family, if they can afford it, obviously,
Yeah.
they pay for they split the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
The wife's family pays for the wedding. The groom's family pays for the brunch.
Right.
Yeah, you got to go to that brunch.
Right, now-
And by the way, you should waste food there too.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Take some extra eggs that you have no business eating and say, hey, Mr. Staloff, see what I did there? Got you your money's worth.
I'm not doing that to him. Okay, I want Ryan to start a nice, clean, easy beginning to his new family.
I'm sure they will. He has
his
a beautiful woman who loves him.
It'd be great.
And I'm sad that I can't attend the wedding, but I can't, and I'm glad you guys are going in my stead. And I did give him a nice check because that's the right thing to do, and frankly, save this family money because I'm not going to the brunch either.
Well,
So
if you
that's
look at it that way,
a little
you
less
did.
they had to order. In any event, congratulations to the Sixers and their championship last night. And now it's a wrap. You
not
know
a
you
wrap.
have no chance of beating the Celtics. Meanwhile, what I really want to talk about in this first segment, I got 2 minutes, 3 minutes to do it, is every now and then there's a special athlete that comes into our lives that reminds us out of the blue just how awesome and special they are. And there are times, I think you'd agree, we sometimes take them for granted.
Absolutely.
And I think this is one of those cases because last night, Steph Curry once again turned back the hands of time, was the best player on the court, period, stop, went for damn near 40 last night. And while the Golden State Warriors were down by 13 points with just under 10 minutes to go, and I got to give Al Horford credit because he knocked down 4 threes in that fourth quarter
Yes,
as well.
he did, yep.
But Steph Curry, again, makes you have to, I think, reconsider your top 5 NBA players of all time. Because there's some people that say, well, am I really going to put, although the greatest jump shooter, the greatest shooter of all time in my top 5? He's not a world-class defender.
No.
He's not 6'6". But last night for me was another example why if you don't have Steph Curry in your top 5, you don't know basketball. Steph Curry last night willed the Golden State Warriors to the next round, trying to get back into the playoffs and beyond. And it was a joy to watch. And while I'm at it, because I told you I'll never lie to you, and I'll always tell you the truth as I see it, last night was also a reminder that a guy that I am not a fan of is a world-class defensive basketball player.
Yes, he is.
Because Draymond Green last night, it was 2 possessions, like 2 out of 3 possessions, maybe 2 out of 4.
Fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter, guarding Kawhi Leonard.
One-on-one.
It was one-on-one. It was mano-a-mano. I'm damn near 38 years old. You're at the time still one of the great scorers in the league, and he shut him down. Kawhi Leonard in the fourth quarter, goose egg.
Yeah,
and had 2 turnovers that led to fast break points for Golden State that helped them finish off that comeback. So you had Steph Curry and you had Draymond Green doing what they do best, and it was a joy to watch.
Yes, I'm going to go a step further. Steph Curry, not only is he top 5, he's the second best point guard to ever live behind Magic Johnson.
Wow.
He's that great. He has changed the game, and what he did last night was special. The oldest point guard ever to score 35 points last night.
There you go. And look, the Clippers got to look back and go, where the F did we go wrong? We're up by double digits with less than 10 minutes to go and couldn't close out. And another year of Kawhi not getting past the first round of the playoffs. That's 5 straight now.
I got to tell you, Kansas basketball the last 3 months, if I was the number 1 player in the country, I crossed them off my list. Bill Self did not do Darren Peterson any favors. And now Badunga's going to stay in college but leave Lawrence? I'm red flags, in my opinion, Gabe, around the Jayhawks.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
For those people who use YouTube, there's a new feature that is powered by AI. And what is this exactly, Simon?
So let's say you're watching Yankees highlights, and you can say, YouTube, when is the next game at Yankee Stadium? You see that information on the screen. How much is the cost? What seats are available? You see that information on the screen. All right, call the Yankee Stadium box office. I want to make a reservation for 2 tickets.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
All these idiots out there sounding off on Tiger right now. See, it's so easy to go after a guy that's hurt. He's hurt. Whether you call it whatever you want. He's got a little bit of an issue and he's going to fix. Okay? They're attacking. Attack. Why don't you all shut up and let him go do his thing? He had to leave the country to do it because of privacy? That's nauseating to me.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
We may be talking about this as one of the best divisions in baseball. It's not generally something we do, but if the Pirates just hold court and the Reds just hold court and the Cubs are in this thing, the Brewers are going to be there in the end too. I mean, that's 4 of the 5 teams. I do think the Cardinals are going to push back at some point. They'll fall back a little bit, but I got 4 teams with a possibility of making the postseason here, Donnie.
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. So Golden State, they get to win against the Clippers. Clippers are done. And then the byproduct of the Clippers being eliminated now is really crazy and shows you again why the Oklahoma City Thunder are the best run organization in basketball by far. So the Clippers get eliminated, all right? Mm-hmm. That Paul George trade is still looming.
Years ago.
Okay?
Yep. The
Oklahoma City Thunder, the best team in basketball for the last couple of years now, they get a lottery pick.
Yep.
Let that sink in. Whoever you might root for out of the playoffs, or maybe a playing team like the 76ers, or I will see what the Knicks do, obviously. The best team in basketball is getting a lottery pick in the NBA draft because the Clippers got eliminated from the playoffs.
Right, and they're in a spot where they're so good, right? They don't need
the guys.
They don't have to wait for. They don't need. Oh, we have to get the first pick. Imagine if they get pick 7. They're going to get a good player that's going to contribute to them
and by the way,
in the future.
People also aren't paying attention. They acquired Jared McClain from the Sixers, who was the lottery pick 2 years ago.
He was.
Right?
Yes.
Obviously, he's been hurt a lot.
Now, they did get, we'll see what the compensation, they did send out compensation for that. They sent out a first and things like that, but yes.
And by the way, they also have more first-round picks than every other franchise in basketball over the next 6 years.
Yes.
So they can literally do what they please. If there's a guy making too much money that's coveted by another team trying to win a title of their own, we'll trade you. We have great players in their prime. We have great draft picks coming up. We own the NBA for a good foreseeable future.
See, now that's the only pushback I'll do.
Go.
Right now, it looks like they got the red carpet to title number 2.
I know where you're going.
There is one team.
Hold on, let me write it down. Let's see if I know.
Go ahead and write it down.
There's one team they're going to say stands in the way of dynasty.
Yes.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, with the second apron looming, second apron looming, that is correct. The Spurs, if you can't see it on the paper because of the white belt, it does say Spurs. And the reason I say that is with the second apron looming, you really can't go beyond the 3 max guys. Right. Because regardless, the good thing is they have picks to replenish, but they're not going to be able to keep Chet and SGA and everybody forever because of that second apron. But if they draft well, it won't matter.
They'll keep 3 of their stars for a long time, and they'll be rotating pieces
everybody
around.
else because they won't be able to keep other guys.
Yeah.
But the big but is, what if Wemby coming up starting this weekend has decided I'm the best player in the world?
Yeah, and it's interesting because the Spurs earlier this year owned the Thunder. Thunder got a couple back late, but they owned them, which was interesting. Look, they're the only team.
Spurs are a young team as well. That's the one thing that could stop the dynasty.
I think we're kind of looking at a future of a lot of Spurs Thunder Western Conference Finals matchups.
Probably.
Which will become maybe the stuff of legend, like for the new generation of basketball fans. Like, and I'm older than you, so like, correct me if I'm wrong. You kind of grew up, if I'm guessing, like Bulls Pistons in the East.
Yeah,
right?
Bulls Pistons in the East.
Bulls had to get past Detroit.
I remember the end of Lakers Celtics.
Okay.
Isaiah on the one leg making the threes with the bad ankle.
But I think the new generation, like kids in their like early teens, like 10 to 20 years old, I think we're on the precipice of it's another year of Thunder Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. Yep. It's too bad it's not for the NBA championship, obviously.
It's what it is.
Because then you get like Lakers Celtics stuff. Sixers Celtics, Sixers Lakers, and Knicks way back in the day against the Lakers back in the 70s. So yeah, I'm with you. And I think of all the guys in the league right now, while SGA is probably going to win the MVP, the only guy in the league, and I say this respectfully because there's so many ridiculously good players in the league, I think there's only one that has the chance to jump into that rarefied top 5, top 10 kind of cat of all time, and he's a long way away from it. But Wemby's that guy.
He's that guy.
Because 3 blocks a game, led the league again, which he's done since he's been a pro. You saw him at the All-Star game tell everybody, guys with a lot more experience than him and more kind of cachet than him, we're going to try to win this game. We ain't going up and down. And to be fair, that's a stark contrast to his first All-Star game when, remember, Chris Paul told him how to cheat the skills competition.
Right.
And he didn't actually go through all the different stages. And we're like, here we go. They've already got their meat hooks in them. Prima donna NBA basketball player. But what I saw in the All-Star game this past year, that's a dude who says, I want to win. And they all filed suit.
Yep.
So he already got the respect of everybody, too.
Right. We ended up getting the best All-Star game in over a decade.
No, by far.
Solely because of that.
That's right.
And his will.
He's like, I want to win this. And when they and they didn't, he was pissed.
And here's the other part about sometimes you got to get seasoning. Most likely the second round, it's him versus Jokic. If he gets through that test, are we sure OKC will beat him? If they beat Denver, he beats Jokic head-to-head.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we just comfortable that he's going to lose?
No.
That's the one thing
Thunder would be favored.
Right.
But not by a lot.
And that's the part where this is so... This playoff run is, to me, and ratings are up and all that stuff. I don't care about that. But with a lot of people paying attention, this could be a special playoff coming up.
Yeah, speaking of special, I'm very excited. I don't think we have the video to show you today. If we do, guys, get it. If not, it'll be tomorrow. So last night, Lil Wayne and I were texting back and forth. Yeah. And he clued me into this basketball phenom out in Utah. Play the video, guys. So there's this kid. He's a 5th grade kid. All right, just watch the handles on this kid right here. All right? This is 5th grade, by the way. All right, now, by the way, and youth basketball in Utah is the real deal. All right? This is a 5th grade kid, got handles like he's Jason Williams back in the day. Like he's playing for the Globetrotters back in the day, like Curly Neal, okay?
Yeah.
So
that's the 3-ball.
Yeah, so he can shoot, he can dribble, he's 3 feet tall, and he's a monster, okay?
Yeah.
So we reached out to his mom this morning, and he and his mom are coming on this show tomorrow.
That's exciting.
Because I got to give Wayne the credit. Wayne discovered the kid on Instagram. I'm now kind of catching up after Wayne had brought him to my attention. But we're going to make this kid a star. Not that he needs our help to do it. This is the next great white point guard to make it to the NBA, Tyrone.
My gosh, you put a lot on a fifth grader.
That's my dude.
I'm telling you, I want this kid to come out east and play.
Yeah,
I want him to come out east and play.
You want to toughen him up.
Well, that's
that Utah run is tough. I'm telling you, man.
I believe it. All right, I'm seeing the hue of some of the players, but I believe it. The only thing I want to see now is how he plays through contact. It looks like he has everything else.
He's got it all.
Like he got everything else.
So his mom's name is Anna. The family's last name is Hughley. Okay. So we're gonna help blow this kid up. I've watched all of his videos last night. I thank Lil Wayne for introducing me to the kid. And tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the Hughleys will join us.
That's cool.
And that kid's the next great point guard to hit a basketball court near you. We're on it. We got you, Hughleys. Not all these kids, but the majority of these kids in the top 10 have had things handed to them since they're in 3rd grade because they're special athletically. And the fact that they get humbled a little bit, I'm here for the humbling. I've been humbled. I like when other people get humbled.
But you were humbled later. Yeah. You weren't humbled at 22 in front of the world.
No.
You were a grown-ass man.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
The process is closed. Let's call it out for what it is, right? And is it their fault? You could, they've been just besieged and Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like 2, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
There is one cardinal rule in sports media. You do not mess with the game or the ability for people to watch the game. These streaming giants better figure out how to deliver a live sporting event without any hitches, because broadcast television understood this for decades, and they know, Donnie, hey, there is nothing more important.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyron Johnson here as well. There's a big issue right now in New York involving the New York Mets. And it's not the fact that they're an embarrassment right now from a baseball standpoint. They've now lost 8 consecutive games. They're a listless offense. They don't score any runs. They just got swept by the Dodgers. They get a day off. Then they have a 3-set against the Cubs in Chicago. And if they don't get themselves right, I think Carlos Mendoza is going to be fired when they come back after this road trip, because there's a chance they will have lost 11 consecutive games. But that's not what's causing people heartache right now. There's an issue that the New York Mets have canceled Jewish Heritage Night this year. They've had it in the past at Citi Field, and for some reason, while they're still having Heritage Nights for many other groups, there's Black History Night, which they should have. There's Italian Heritage Night and Irish Heritage Night, and on and on and on. They've made an executive decision not to go forward with Jewish Heritage Night. They have not explained why, so I don't want to surmise as to why, but it's problematic for the New York Mets and a lot of their fan base. Obviously, the Jewish population in New York is the largest anywhere in the world outside of Israel. And we all know about the levels of anti-Semitism that are raging throughout this country and in New York City as well. But what's interesting is that the New York Mets did bring in the current mayor of New York City to a game last week and had their mascots, Mr. and Mrs. Met, hug the mayor.
Okay.
Which, by the way, every mayor is pretty much done.
Right. On its face, that's fine. On its face.
The issue here is that the mayor is believed to be an anti-Semite.
By many Jewish people.
I believe he's anti-Semitic as well. He and his wife have cheered on things that happen in the Middle East that means they have no soul. But when you're going to embrace the current mayor, who's the anti-Semite, and then the same year also not have Jewish Heritage Night, that is a problem. And it's such a simple problem to avoid. You've got 81 home games. You know full well that if you don't do Jewish Heritage Night, there's going to be an outcry about it. You know that going in. So why not avoid the outcry and just pick a random day any month of the season and just do it?
Of course.
And the reason I bring that up is because it's so easy just to do it. The fact that they're not doing it has to make you take a step back and say to yourself, why? Why won't you do it? Now, I have some experience with the New York Mets and Heritage Night on a personal level. Many years ago, the New York Mets, before Steve Cohen owned them, it was the Wilpons that owned them, to be fair, they decided to cancel Italian American Heritage Night. and I was on the radio in New York, had a powerful voice, and Italian-American groups came to me and said, can you help bridge the gap between us and the Mets and get Italian-American Heritage Night back on the docket? And I did. And I kind of fostered a peace and a brokered peace between the Italian-American organizations and the New York Mets, and the Mets righted that wrong, and they had a night honoring Italian-American heritage. Easy. It made everybody have, kind of go their separate ways and enjoy a great night.
Right.
This is easily fixable. It takes one guy, the owner of the Mets, who, by the way, happens to be Jewish and is a Jewish philanthropist as well, outside of how he makes his money.
Right.
And just say, I apologize for the oversight. Our mistake.
In September.
We're going to bring Jewish Heritage Night back on some random day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just pick a day.
Whatever.
Right.
It's so easy to fix it. And because it's so easy to fix it, if you don't, there's a reason why. And I do think the Jewish population in New York and the Jewish fan base of the New York Mets deserves an explanation as to why you're not doing something that is so simple to do. I can accept an oversight if it's an oversight. I can't accept you making a decision if there's a reason behind it that you won't share. And until you change this and bring back Jewish Heritage Night, you're dead to me.
Wow.
And that's how it's got to be.
No, it absolutely
Because it's an easy fix.
It's an easy fix.
Polish Heritage Night, Italian Heritage Night, Irish Heritage Night, whatever the case may be.
They're very easy.
Just bring it back.
Yes. Now, the Phillies, and I have that because I have it right in front of me. They do Jewish Community Celebration Night. That's what they call it. It's in September. They do it against the Marlins, and the only thing they do difference is the Jewish groups get $4 discounts on tickets for that part, and then they set up kosher grills at a couple of sections. Okay, they set up kosher grills in a couple of sections.
Great.
This is not a lot. It's not a hard thing to do.
No, and that's
it's a very
my point.
easy thing to do.
So when you make a decision not to do it, there's a reason behind it. Right?
Yes.
You're either doing it on purpose to offend a group of people. I'd like to think that's not the case.
I hope not.
Or you're doing it because you think there might be some kind of negative kickback to you doing it,
Well, so
which
what?
I also do not think is the case.
So what?
Right? So I don't know why it is.
Yep.
It makes no sense to me.
Yep.
They've done it before. It was never a problem. Do it again. Like, come on, guys, get this one right. This is not that hard to do the right thing.
Team feels slow, it feels old, it feels uninteresting. It just kind of feels like a lot of guys who are quality ball players, some big contracts, but are just like lethargic when they're out there. Like Manny Machado moves in slow motion, so does Nick Castellanos, so does Xander Bogaerts, so do a lot of these players in this lineup. And I might be piling on a little bit too deep, but this was supposed to be a contender for a World Series.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You build teams in the second, third, and fourth round, right, Donnie? Yeah. That's where you build. That's where you get the depth. That's where you build the team. So teams looking for draft capital very much could be alive and well in this draft coming up because there's just nobody to mortgage the future for because you need your franchise guy. They're just not in this draft.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The fact that we are seeing now multiple states propose, not just prop bet bans, but getting rid of online sports betting altogether really shows kind of the pushback that the industry is facing right now and kind of the crisis it has to make sure in the public spotlight that it's being viewed accurately and that it's working with lawmakers on, common sense proposals.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Now, I see him 15th, 16th, somewhere in that ballpark, and I think that makes sense, Donnie. I don't see him in the top 10. I really don't. I mean, when you look at, let's say, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you start going into that, teams like the Cowboys or the Vikings or the Chiefs, and, could they take a flyer?
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. You know, the world's a funny place, right? And it's a good reminder to the kids out there that everything and anything you do these days never disappears forever. Right?
Right.
Like if you think, well, I deleted it, that's gone. You didn't. You didn't delete it, all right? Or if you think like, hey, those guys aren't going to remember when I told that, bad joke. And no, they're going to remember, okay? And the reason I say that is there's a big deal happening at Syracuse right now where the commencement speaker for this upcoming year's graduation at Syracuse is legendary Syracuse graduate and broadcaster Mike Tirico.
Okay.
Right?
Sunday Night Football, the Olympics.
Oh, Mike Tirico is an amazing sports broadcaster.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame resume guy.
Yeah, he's also been very generous in giving back to Syracuse. He has written checks for a considerable amount of money. He's been on the board of trustees. He's been on the board of the famous Newhouse School of Communications there. He has gone back and given speeches and taught classes. He is like he's the best example, you would think, of a graduate that's had success, that doesn't forget where he came from, and is always giving back. That's a good story to tell.
So we're good.
Which is why Mike Tirico was chosen to be the commencement speaker at this year's Syracuse graduation.
Hold on. Craig Carton right now is doing a feel-good story on a Thursday.
I know Mike Tirico.
Yeah, it's great.
I like Mike Tirico. I respect Mike Tirico, the broadcaster.
Yeah.
And Mike Tirico should do what he does, and I'm glad that he does it.
All right. So what do we got?
Well, we have a problem, though. We have a problem. Yeah. In this Diana Rossini world, we have a problem now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, back earlier in his life, Mike Tirico was accused of being untoward with a number of women. Okay, very early in his career at ESPN, to the point where he was suspended at one point. Early in his career at ESPN.
Okay.
And then a few other women also accused him of A, B, C, and D. When he got the job at NBC, NBC executives even had to acknowledge the fact that they're aware of the accusations in his past, and they fully vetted him and thought that he was still worthy of being the face of NBC Sports. And these are stories that go back now 30 plus years, okay?
Yeah, I Googled it because you brought it up, and I see it in front of me.
Yeah, like this, it's just, everybody knows it happened. It's just one of those things that nobody talks about because A, he's a great broadcaster, B, he's a very likable guy, and C, he hasn't been accused of anything in a long time. So it's one of those things like, all right, he was able to better himself, move on, and not do the things he was accused of early in his career.
Yes, we're now talking about 34 years ago, 1992 is where these.
But they happened. He was suspended by ESPN
for 3 months
early in his career at ESPN. You can go read it. It's also in that book about the ESPN, the start of ESPN.
Yes,
like it's all well documented. So on the surface, it's like, of course, Mike Tirico should give the commencement speech. He's one of our most famous graduates, right?
Yes.
Well, the Daily Orange is the student-run newspaper at Syracuse. And there's a graduating senior, a young gal, who wrote an op-ed piece that now has gone viral and has legs now on the Syracuse campus and is dividing the Syracuse campus a little bit as to whether or not Mike Tirico is an appropriate choice to give the commencement speech, considering all the women that are graduating Syracuse and the fact that if they Google him, because not everybody that graduates Syracuse is a sports broadcasting major, they might want to do a little background check on who did Syracuse choose to give our commencement speech.
Yeah.
And as a woman, you might say, I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you chose a guy that allegedly harassed women early in his career to give the commencement speech. So now there's a debate at Syracuse. Should he be canceled? Now, I don't think he will be. I think he's got enough goodwill at Syracuse with the student body, with the alumni, with the folks that run Syracuse, that all the good he has done outweighs what he did 34 years ago. And I think he's going to be allowed to give the speech. But it's a good lesson to everybody out there. Just when you think you've done everything right for the better part of 3.5 decades and you've lived an exemplary life, the stuff you do in your 20s can and will come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if this is, an empowered gal saying, I feel that, Mike Vrabel should be getting more heat than he's getting, and it's not right that women are always the ones getting all the heat in this profession.
Right.
Why is Diana Rossini out of a job, but Mike Vrabel isn't, right? and I know this is apples to steaks, but it's a fair line of thinking when you do the research on who your university chose to give the commencement speech.
You're absolutely right. And here's the tough thing about it. While it's not apples to apples, as you just said, could we imagine a woman, even in the 90s, doing something similar and then having the career afterwards? If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think so.
I think it'd be harder to find that woman.
That's what I mean. What I mean is, now, I also believe in redemption. I know you do, obviously. I believe in redemption.
Yes.
Now, just so we're clear, in case there's people that don't know, these are the things that were cited officially by like HR and ESPN. Okay? It was unwanted advances, explicit comments, and then following/stalking a producer.
Yes.
That is what he's accused of as far as the HR file from 1992.
Right.
The question I guess we have to make then morally is, do we believe a person can be redeemed from that?
Yes.
And then
so allow me to say this. What he was accused of is bad. It is. Made at least one, maybe multiple women feel very uncomfortable.
The number they have is, it could be 6.
Okay, so let's just say they're right. Let's say there's half a dozen women who felt a certain way about how Mike Tirico approached them. And that's bad, and that's ugly, and he was punished for it. He was suspended for at least 3 months.
Oh, 3 months.
Back then by ESPN. My belief is that while those women have the right to feel the way they feel to this day about what they experienced, I don't think you have to pay for that crime every day for the rest of your life. I don't. I think if you've lived an exemplary life for the last 34 years and you've done everything right and you're a good husband and a good father and you live your life the right way, and while it's bad what you did and you paid for those sins, how many times do we have to get blood from the same stone?
I agree with you.
Now, there are some crimes the answer is forever. Murder, rape, things like that, crimes against children, like all that kind of stuff. I think we'd all agree on that.
He also
and I'm not excusing what he allegedly did.
Just to be clear, he is not accused of any violence, which does play a role. To me, for me personally, I'm not trying to speak for you at all. I'm not saying you don't feel this way.
It's a different threshold for you. I got it.
To me, violence against women, to me,
is a forever
crime.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too.
So he's followed her. Had he grabbed her, had he groped her, then I'm done forever. And he did not do that.
I think Mike Tirico should be allowed to give the speech. I respect you feeling a certain way about it. I'm not telling you that you're wrong to feel the way you feel, but I think 34 years of living life the right way, of recognizing the mistakes you made and apologizing for those mistakes and not making those mistakes again, I think you should be allowed to give the speech. Now, I don't know all the details, to be fair, of the other 5 women that are alleged to have complained about how he treated them. And I suppose if I did read those details, if they ever made public, I think I reserve the right to change my mind. But based on what I've read, which is basically what you're reading right now, and what I know, based on being in this industry for 35 years, I do think there's got to come a point where you're allowed to say, what I did was wrong, but look at everything I've done since. And that's where I put Mike Tirico. And if, as a Syracuse graduate, I fully support, based on the information I know, Mike Tirico giving the commencement speech.
No, and just so.
And by the way, how do you know he's not going to say that I'm a prime example of overcoming your mistakes?
He very well could.
I assume he won't, but I don't know that he won't.
He very well could. And for people that maybe think that Craig might be, or we're being hypocrites, we said yesterday, Diana Ricci will get another job.
She will.
And should get another job.
Yeah.
This should not be the end of her career. We said that from one mistake.
If I needed a co-host, I'd consider hiring her.
Yeah.
I have you.
Yeah.
You're preventing Diana from getting a job here.
Listen,
matter of fact, you're the bad guy.
Listen, I actively look. You know, people can email me. Then perhaps Diana will sit here. Who knows? You never know. You never know.
You never know. I got a big dinner tonight. We might be talking about it. You never know.
No, Craig. Now, coming up in the next segment, my gut says you're going to be very angry.
I'm going to be angry?
Yes. I will tell you that this is NBA related.
Uh-oh.
It's not Knicks related.
Okay.
And I think you're going to be very angry.
LeBron James is wearing a playoff patch?
Nothing LeBron James, and it's not LeBron James.
All right, coming up after the break, why am I going to be angry? Tyrone's got a story for us, and I don't know what it is. Don't touch it.
This team feels slow, it feels old, it feels uninteresting. It just kind of feels like a lot of guys who are quality ball players, some big contracts, but are just like lethargic when they're out there. Like Manny Machado moves in slow motion. So does Nick Castellanos. So does Xander Bogaerts. So do a lot of these players in this lineup. And I might be piling on a little bit too deep, but this was supposed to be a contender for a World Series.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You build teams in the second, third, and fourth round, right, Donnie? Yeah. That's where you build. That's where you get the depth. That's where you build the team. So teams looking for draft capital very much could be alive and well in this draft coming up because there's just nobody to mortgage the future for because you need your franchise guy. They're just not in this draft.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
The fact that we are seeing now multiple states propose, not just prop bet bans, but getting rid of online sports betting altogether really shows kind of the pushback that the industry is facing right now and kind of the crisis it has to make sure in the public spotlight that it's being viewed accurately and that it's working with lawmakers on, common sense proposals.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Now, I see him 15th, 16th, somewhere in that ballpark, and I think that makes sense, Donnie. I don't see him in the top 10. I really don't. I mean, when you look at, let's say, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you start going into that, teams like the Cowboys or the Vikings or the Chiefs, and, could they take a flyer?
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. Just checking my handy-dandy sheet here.
Well, hold on.
That's right. You said you have a story that's going to make me angry.
I believe
NBA
so.
related.
Yes.
Go.
All right. The NBA and the NBA Players Association have ruled in favor of Lakers' Luka Doncic and the Pistons' Cade Cunningham on their extraordinary circumstances challenge for the 65-game rule, which makes them eligible for MVP, All-NBA, and all the other awards.
Yeah.
And I know you have been on the record as saying you did not.
because it's stupid.
Well?
Because you chose to miss the other 15 games when you weren't hurt. Let's start with Luka. So Luka's extraordinary circumstance is that his girlfriend was giving birth to their child
so he missed 2 games.
Estonia or Latvia or something like that. So he flew over there.
Missed 2 games.
Watched the kid get born, flew back, missed 2 games, and did not play the 65 games needed to be qualified for the Supermax and a lot of the postseason awards, right?
He's caring about
Including
that
MVP.
and he's caring about that Supermax because he knows he's not going to win MVP.
And I'm saying to myself, they allow you to miss 17 games, which is more than 20%. It is 20%. 20% of all the games. They don't dock your pay. So if you decide that you're going to go to Europe or Latvia, wherever the hell he was, to watch your baby be born, which we all respect as a man, you want to be there for the birth of your children. I respect that, of course. Well, then don't take 2 other days off for load management. So I would have ruled against him.
Okay.
And this is why people are mad at the NBA. Because we already allow you to take 20% of all the games off for no reason at all.
For any reason. It could be injury. It could be,
And now you wanted 2 extra days off. We respect why. But that means if you really cared about postseason awards and the Supermax, it ain't hard to play 65 games. He chose not to play 65 games. Now, what's the extraordinary circumstance for Cade Cunningham? His injury?
His injury.
Guys get hurt.
Yes, true, but
so why is that an extraordinary circumstance?
He didn't load manage. Cade is not a load management guy, and absolutely by merit is an All-NBA first-team performer based on his play this year.
So
he did not load manage.
And they're both in the same spot where they both played 64 games, right?
And they're saying that this is what this exception is for a baby or injury where you literally become 1 game short because he did not load manage. Unlike Luka, Cade does not load manage.
I don't know.
Cade plays.
I know he missed 11 games with the collapsed lung. I don't know why he missed the other 7 games.
He had an ankle earlier in the year as well. So, no, he does not load manage. And he's 1 short.
But here's my problem with it. Injuries, as we all know, are part of sports. So The fact that you played 64 games, and we were well aware of the lung. I didn't know about the ankle, so fine. Let's say it was legitimate injury.
It was.
Well, that's part of the game. There's nothing extraordinary about a player getting hurt. And I'll give you a great example. Let's say Jason Tatum came back and played the last 20 games of the season. Yeah. And I'm making this up, it's arbitrary, right? Yeah. Let's say the Celtics were in the 7th spot when that happened. And Tatum comes back.
They go 20
and he averages 40 points a game.
And they go 20-0.
They go 20-0, and they go from the 7th seed to the 1 seed. Making it up, right?
Making it up, yeah.
Would you allow him the extraordinary circumstance provision and make him eligible?
No, I would not.
Stop. So the answer to no is because he was injured.
For me, no. The
Right?
answer would be, to me, there is a difference between 64 games.
But there should be. 65 is an arbitrary number
20.
also.
It was the number they made up. The other part is, just so we're clear.
I hate this.
But it doesn't make them automatically All-NBA. It makes them eligible for people to vote them All-NBA.
But
that's different.
But the flip side is, if you don't play 65 games,
you're not eligible. Unless you have
It just means you can vote for him now.
Yeah, that just means you can vote
MVP,
for him.
All-NBA honors, then you get the Supermax.
If you make All-NBA, which these two will for sure.
To me, this is another example. By the way, Adam Silver's in my radio studio tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'll ask him about it. Look, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
And by the way, he said he's keeping the 65 game rule.
But he's not. We've just thrown 65 out the window.
That's separate from him. This is an independent arbiter that goes to that.
Okay.
And this is for special circumstances. And they say in most courts, at least on the Lucas side, he would win because of the birth of a child.
I don't know what's special about the fact that you're having a baby. Like a lot of guys have babies.
Right. And it is but he works in California.
That's not my problem.
Right, but anybody who works in California can miss a couple days of work for having a baby.
I don't know I don't know what the NBA rules might be different than that. I know they allow paternity leave.
If he took it to court, he would likely win in court.
He would win. Well, he got paid. I don't think the court would say that because we're in California, because not every game is in California, as you know, that all of a sudden the California courts can decide you're eligible for bonuses.
It'd be more about, it'd be eligible for it, eligible to be voted on.
You know the problem with this, Tyrone, in my opinion, and we could bicker about this for the next couple of weeks.
I'm not necessarily.
I don't mind doing it.
This is the other side.
Yeah,
is what they would say.
I don't think there's even a right or wrong to it. It's just a fascinating conversation. But this is another example, and I'm not sure who the arbiter is, of the league, basically currying favor and kissing the players' asses.
Okay.
And the NBA does that more than anybody. But like you set up an arbitrary number. We're allowing you to take off for any reason at all 20% of all the games your team plays. You've got to figure out how to manage that if you're the type of dude that wants to take all 17 games off. Now, I'm not the one that told you not to move your wife to the United States of America. You chose that, or your girlfriend, I guess, at the time. I didn't choose not to give birth in this country. You chose that. It's your right to choose it. But if you also now want to be there for the birth of your child, which we all respect, sometimes that comes with consequences. The consequence for you is that, instead of making $70 million next year, you only get to make 55. Wow.
Well, it's just,
ain't nobody crying for Luka Doncic. Now, the Kate Cunningham one's a little bit different, I guess.
It is.
But I wouldn't give him extraordinary circumstances either.
Here's the other part that would also. Wemby's eligible. These
played
guys
65, right? On the number?
Yeah, both these guys have played hundreds of more minutes of basketball this
I know,
season.
I saw that stat.
Both of those guys
don't matter to me.
So that doesn't matter.
No.
It's just the games. It's not how much basketball you play.
Now, the rule is you have to play at least 20 in those games for the game to count.
Except Wemby got a special dispensation for playing between 15 and 20 on a butt, or he might be
which I don't agree with that either. I know it was written before Wemby used it. To be fair, that's not a Wemby rule.
Right.
He's the first guy I know that's used it. But I think it sucks. Like, you guys make a ridiculous amount of money. You have a skill nobody else has. I'm not even begrudging you the money. And all we're saying to you is play 2 games a week, man. And if you want to take 17 games off, we allow that. But it's up to you to manage it. Because you and I are the ones that get screwed. We want to see the best players play, right?
We do.
So if I'm the NBA or the arbiter the NBA hires, my answer is simple. No and no. Next case, please. It's embarrassing. Not all these kids, but the majority of these kids in the top 10 have had things handed to them since they're in 3rd grade. because they're special athletically. And the fact that they get humbled a little bit, I'm here for the humbling. I've been humbled. I like when other people get humbled.
But you were humbled later. Yeah. You weren't humbled at 22 in front of the world.
No.
You were a grown-ass man.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
The process is closed. Let's call it out for what it is, right? And is it their fault? You could argue, they've been just besieged at Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like 2, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
There is one cardinal rule in sports media. You do not mess with the game or the ability for people to watch the game. These streaming giants better figure out how to deliver a live sporting event without any hitches, because broadcast television understood this for decades, and they know, Donnie, hey, there is nothing more important.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyron Johnson here as well. Interesting situation, by the way, in the Western Conference of the NBA playoffs, Tyrone. Now that Golden State and really Steph Curry took care of business last night, damn near dropped 40, and old man Al Horford was a key part of that comeback in the last 10 minutes as well.
Yep.
There's been a debate amongst us basketball experts that I'm going to clue you into, because you haven't been in the room when we have these conversations.
Yeah, right.
That when it's all said and done, is there an argument to be made that Steph Curry should be ranked higher than LeBron James on the all-time great player list?
Nobody
I know where you are on it, which is why you don't get invited to
No
those
one
meetings.
says that.
There's a lot of people talking about it.
Okay.
And I was just thinking about this.
Not people that know the sport.
Yeah,
people, sure. You can't respect people.
I was just thinking.
You can't respect people.
I'm just telling you what people are saying. I'm just saying what people are saying.
Yeah.
So the Lakers play against the Rockets.
Yes.
In the first round out west, okay?
Yeah.
Golden State has to beat the Suns now to get in as the 8th seed.
Right, so it's not done yet.
To play the Thunder and get swept, basically, right?
Yes.
But you could make an argument that without Austin Reeves, because he's not coming back, I think, for the entirety of the playoffs. And without Luka, who possibly could come back if the first round goes past 5.
Yeah.
They're talking maybe
right.
He could come back. Well, I just saw Steph Curry put the Warriors on his back and carry them to another game.
To get a game.
Okay, to try to get the 8th seed there in the West.
Mm-hmm.
If LeBron is incapable of helping the Lakers, let's even just say get a split in Houston, all right? Sorry, a split at home.
At home.
Against the Rockets. That's the 4-5 matchup. I think the argument will be made that when it's all said and done, it goes Curry, then LeBron.
Yeah.
See, Steph Curry carried his team to another game. Can LeBron James...
I guess a lesser opponent.
Perhaps.
Clippers are not as good as the Rockets.
Perhaps.
They're not as good as the Rockets.
Can LeBron James
Kevin Durant
single-handedly keep the Lakers alive until Luka gets back?
Yeah.
And by that I mean one win.
Can he get a win?
Can LeBron James carry the Lakers to one win at home against the Houston Rockets, which ended the season one of the hottest teams in all of basketball?
Right. Now.
If he can't, then I think the conversation's moot. It goes Steph Curry and then LeBron.
Well, here's where, I don't want to indulge this nonsense, but what'll happen is
LeBron.
So if LeBron does,
go ahead.
You're going to come in here and say it's clear it's LeBron and Steph. Or does it just work the one way?
Fair question. If LeBron James is the reason.
No, he's by himself.
Yeah, I know.
Even if he's not the reason, he's the reason.
You think Rui Hachimura is going to carry him?
Hell no, I don't think that Hachimura is going to carry him. He's out there solo.
I will give you this. If LeBron James gets a split, he ain't got to win both. He just got to win one.
By himself.
Then I will tell you, LeBron is back ahead of Curry.
Back ahead? He's ahead. He's
not right now, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Steph Curry just leapfrogged him.
No, he didn't.
And we're going to put this out. If you're a legitimate basketball fan, I want you to comment on this
No.
video.
No, if you know the game. Don't just let anybody comment. People don't know anything.
If you watch basketball, if you feel like you know basketball. Right now, I think all of us basketball experts, we agree today in the moment.
No, we don't.
Steph Curry, then LeBron.
No, we don't.
LeBron.
No.
Yes.
We do not agree.
That's what us experts think.
We do not agree. We do not agree.
I want you have a choice. You could take Tyrone's side, which is LeBron's always ahead of Curry and always will be.
Yes.
You could take my stance, which is last night Steph Curry proved again why it's Steph and then LeBron. Steph, LeBron.
Yeah, see.
Steph, LeBron.
Now, I just want to say.
Steph, LeBron.
Now, we don't have to name names.
Go ahead.
But Curry was out there playing, and you mentioned a couple players.
Draymond Green played a great game defensively against Kawhi Leonard. Yes.
And had something like 9 assists and things like that. And he's a champion. And Horford also has been a champion.
Horford made 4 big threes down the stretch.
Which champions are LeBron going to be playing with against the Rockets? Because I looked at the roster.
Yeah.
He's going to be out there. His son might literally get some minutes.
By the way, there's a chance he will.
There's a chance he might get some minutes.
The only real champion on the Warriors right now that doesn't have rings because of Steph Curry is Al Horford.
Yeah.
Al Horford's a champion.
Yeah.
Well-deserved champion. Was a key part of that Celtic run. All right? Draymond Green's only a champion because Steph Curry's there and Clay was there and KD was there. Now, I said a half hour ago.
He played his butt off.
Draymond Green locked up Kawhi Leonard in that fourth quarter and had 2 big steals late as well.
Big screens to get him free.
Yes.
Had Brook Lopez looking silly trying to scramble.
If you ask Draymond Green, and he's very close friends with LeBron James.
Yeah.
Right? Steph?
No.
LeBron.
That's why you don't ask
Draymond will tell you that
Draymond
too.
would not tell you that.
Yeah.
Draymond would tell you LeBron, him, then Curry. If you
I'm going to ask Draymond Green that.
Ask Draymond.
I'm going out to LA in a couple weeks to see him.
Oh, you going?
And I'm gonna make sure I ask him that question.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Tomorrow on the show, 5th grade basketball phenom and his mom will join us, and I'm all pumped up to see both of them. Have yourselves a great day. Peace.